The Big Mac. Introduced in 1968, it is the most iconic burger in the world with over 100 billion of them sold.
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun.
Now, McDonald's decided to make the Big Mac with 2 all-beef patties, but what would the world look like if they decided to use different types of meat instead?
Blasphemy.
From chicken and fish to some of the most exotic animals in the world, today we turn everything into a Big Mac to find out which animal is king of the Mac. First off, what makes a Big Mac a Big Mac? Here she is in all her glory. I don't always eat these things, but when I do, it is a magical experience. Let's start by taking a look at the layers. Something about taking apart a Big Mac feels illegal, but either way, we have the bottom bun, which on top has the special sauce, followed by some lettuce. Next, we have a slice of cheese that's attached to our patty, and it's a little bit hard to see, but on top of the patty, there's actually little pieces of onion. Next up, we have the middle bun, topped with more sauce. We have more lettuce, followed by a couple pickles. The second patty, if we take a closer look at the patties, they don't look like they have too much of a sear. They are extremely thin. A few more onions on top of that patty, and finally topped with that perfect looking sesame bun. When you look at all the parts individually, it really doesn't look nearly as good as it tastes, but it does give us a few very important rules for this video. Rule number 1, each Big Mac must have 3 buns. Each of our Big Macs must have 2 meat patties. 3, there must be cheese on the bottom half of the burger. 4, there must be sauce on top of the bottom bun as well as on top of the middle bun. And finally, number 5, there must be some sort of topping on the bottom half as well as the top half of the Big Mac. And with that, let's get started.
It's just so good.
For our very first animal, I'm actually gonna start by using beef, but trust me when I tell you, this is not your average Big Mac. It may just be the most fancy Big Mac ever created. I just hope the taste matches the price tag. The first cut we're using is this dry-aged Wagyu A5 short rib. The marbling is just out of control on this one. Next, we have some picanha that'll add some deep beef flavor, along with this hanger steak, which is also super flavorful. And we'll start by grinding up the Wagyu. Grinding up Wagyu has never gone well for me in the past, and I clearly haven't learned my lesson yet, but some things must be done in the name of Big Mac science. To go with our super premium ground beef, we have another super premium ingredient. This is foie gras, otherwise known as duck liver. It's one of those ingredients you either love or hate, with an extremely rich flavor. And we'll give them a quick sear. All it needs is a quick sear on a super hot pan. You really don't want to overcook this stuff. You can see how just so much of that fat is rendering out. And next we'll form our Big Mac patties. And they're actually pretty small in the original Big Mac. It's 2 1.6 ounce patties. That should be perfect. And we'll sear these right in some of that leftover foie gras fat. And for the sauce, we gotta do something special. This is a black truffle. Grating a whole bunch of it right over the mayo. And finishing with just a little bit of lemon to brighten it up. Then just to really ensure we get that truffle flavor, I'll throw in a bit of truffle oil and we'll assemble. Bottom bun, sauce, arugula to cut the richness, Wagyu patty, some Gruyere cheese that will flame throw, that seared foie gras, and some balsamic glaze. Level 2, we start with the bun, sauce, arugula, Wagyu, foie gras, more of that glaze. Then we top it off with the bun and some gold to tie it all together. For our very first Big Mac, we are joined by the one and only Nick DiGiovanni. Nick,
Max.
welcome. What we have in front of us is quite possibly the craziest Big Mac I've ever made.
I'm noticing right away there's a little gold on the top.
I made it fancy just for you.
Oh, my.
Wow. Yeah.
Extremely juicy patty. I taste a bit of foie gras. I taste a bit of truffle.
Is it too rich?
I think I could only realistically eat a quarter of this Big Mac.
I kind of agree.
Crazy, crazy, crazy good bite though.
Is it better or worse than a regular Big Mac?
This is better than a Big Mac.
Wow. Starting off very strong. I mean, it looks like he's going for a second bite here anyway. But guys, keep in mind, as this video progresses, the animals will keep getting progressively crazier. And we're also gonna have quite a few more special guests.
This is a cow?
No,
What was it made of?
a possum.
What?
And next up, we are still pretty tame. We have a chicken Big Mac. And we'll get it all ground up. I'm using chicken thighs specifically due to their extra fat content, which will hopefully keep this burger juicy. Next, we'll form some nice little chicken patties, just like so. Treating these patties just like the previous, only this time I'm adding a barbecue rub to help with the color, doing my best to achieve a nice sear before they overcook. And for the sauce, we'll start with some blue cheese dressing, then add a bunch of buffalo sauce for a kick. May have overdone it a bit with the size of this bowl. Oh yeah. I am very much a blue cheese guy over a ranch guy. Let me know if you agree with me down in the comments. Add a little bit of sauce, then lettuce, the patty, blue cheese crumbles, bun, more sauce, chopped celery and carrots for texture, second patty, and that right there is a beast of a buffalo chicken Big Mac.
This looks so good.
Oh my goodness.
I actually really love this one.
For me, it's the combination of blue cheese and Frank's.
It very much tastes like a chicken burger. It just works really well as a Big Mac, actually.
I completely agree, but is it better than a regular Big Mac?
That's a tough one because the Big Mac is so perfectly, scientifically, by doctors to taste perfect. And this one wasn't, unless you're a doctor. Wait, you are a doctor.
All right, this shouldn't hurt one bit.
There's no way I could say that this is better than a Big Mac.
What do you think?
It is because I love buffalo.
I don't think it's better than a Big Mac. And let's move on. If a Big Mac was made out of pork, I have to believe it'd be ribs. You guys probably know where I'm going with this one, but we'll start with this rack of St. Louis ribs. Mustard binder, then hit it with a barbecue rub for some nice color, and we'll get it on the grill. And just like that, these ribs are done. In fact, they're actually a little bit past done in my opinion, because we need these to be fall off the bone. And that right there is fall off the bone. It is so hot in here. I'm sweating my ass off. Now we'll slice this into perfect Big Mac sized pieces. You already know I gotta sneak a bite of this.
So good and tasty.
We can just end the video here.
Psych!
Bun, homemade mango habanero barbecue sauce. Next, we'll add some pickles for a little tang. Next, a nice big ol' slice. They look so juicy and so tender. This might be a little too much meat for those buns. For the cheese, we have some smoked Gouda, and we'll get that melty. Onion, middle bun, more sauce, pickles, ribs, onions, and finally that top bun. Welcome, my good friend Guga. What do you think?
That looks like delicious.
It's a big boy sandwich. Let's do it.
Wow. Smoky, nice and tender, not too tender. A little bit of a bite, little spicy. The acidity of the pickle is just on another level. Absolutely delicious. Good job, Max.
Is this right here better than a regular Big Mac?
100%.
Really?
I mean, look at it. If you put this in front of me versus a Big Mac, there's no comparison. I'll take more meat every day.
Guga has spoken.
Can I eat the rest of it?
Of course. Let's move on.
So good.
We're getting wild with this one. It's time for the elk Big Mac. And we'll grind it up. Elk is super flavorful, but it is a bit lean, so we'll have to see how it comes out. I mean, the color on this ground elk is stunning. You know the drill at this point. We'll get these patties seared and seasoned up for maximum flavor. To go with the elk, we have two unique components. The first is a simple pickled cabbage for some brightness and color to pair with the wild elk flavor. Rubbing in some salt, then topping with our vinegary brine, and we'll let it sit. And we'll also do one of my all-time favorite toppings for things like lamb or game meats, some fried and super crispy rosemary. For the sauce, we have a mustard maple aioli, those colorful pickled onions, the elk patty, some aged cheddar that will get toasty, the fried rosemary for a crunch, middle bun, more sauce and pickled cabbage, the second patty, more of the herbs, and finally that top bun. Bon appetito, bitch. Wow. It's pretty similar to beef and it's not too gamey. I actually really like the flavor of it.
Really good. But I think my favorite part is the fried rosemary. That gives it awesome, crispy, like herbaceous flavor.
If you're not frying herbs, it is something you absolutely need to try. And to me, it puts this Big Mac over the top. Is this better than a regular Big Mac? I think it is.
1000% better than a Big Mac.
It's so tough because it's so good, but if I think about a classic Big Mac, I think I gotta say no.
I disagree with Sophia on this one, but I get it. Let's move on. I've always enjoyed a salmon burger, but how does it taste in a Big Mac? This is a super marbled piece of salmon, and the extra fat content should really help in keeping this Big Mac juicy. And we'll grind. Looks a bit mushy, but we'll get the patties searing. I'm actually very impressed with how well these are staying together, given I didn't add a binder. For the topping on this one, we'll chop up some cucumber, dill, and some red onions. This is a simple but fresh salad that I'm kind of just freestyling, but all these flavors go well with salmon, so I'm hoping it'll be good. Bun, then sriracha mayo, cucumber salad, then the patty, feta crumbles, middle bun, the spicy mayo, more salad, second patty, and some crispy fried shallots for a little twist of texture over the top. And it is time to taste our salmon Big Mac. We are here with the one and only Golden Balance.
Thanks for having me.
Very good.
Is that like a dill mayo?
Dill, cucumber salad, a little bit of crunchiness from the fried shallots. That actually works incredibly well.
I'm not used to, you know, salmon being in a burger, but really, really good.
Is this better than a standard McDonald's Big Mac?
Easily.
Really?
Absolutely. I'll go for another bite. You don't have to tell me twice.
Next up, we got duck. Now, because duck is so fatty and I don't want the fat content to be too high on the burger, I'm gonna leave one hole and then actually remove the fat and skin from the second breast. So we'll grind up these two, but have no fear, this duck fat will not be going to waste. I'll start by grinding up the duck with the fat still on. See, there's just so much fat. That's why it's critical we add some of the lean duck breast. Oh, we'll get them seared up, and I'm just really hoping these patties aren't too gamey with all the fat in there. And now we'll get that fat cap super crispy. Starting on a cold pan, and I'll just hit it with salt. We got our weights on there to prevent it from curling up while maintaining contact with the pan. And this took a solid 30 minutes to render out all the fat, but our chip should be done and assembled. Chili crisp, hoisin glaze for the sauce, thinly sliced cucumber, then the duck patty. Bit of a risk here with the cheese choice. We're going with mascarpone, which is actually a little bit sweet, but I'm hoping it'll balance out the spiciness from the chili crisp. On with that crispy duck fat chip, finishing with the second patty and some green onion for a pop of color and freshness. For our next burger, we are joined by a very special guest. We have my brother, Tommy. What do you think about what you see in front of you?
It looks like fish skin, to be honest. Looks like liver or something.
I'll put it this way, I've never eaten this in burger form.
Oh God.
And I've eaten a lot of stuff in burger form. What are you getting?
I'm getting liver, almost like a chicken skin.
Do you like it?
I'd eat this because I'm your brother, but I would not order this at a restaurant.
Wow. There's no liver in this burger.
Duck.
Ta-da!
I'd rather be eating a Big Mac.
Get him off the set.
The truth, I'm
Get him off. Most likely his first and last time on the channel. Unless you guys want to see us do a cooking battle, let me know down in the comments. Me and him tend to get extremely competitive.
I think we need a wrestling match too.
Sadly, duck was not a winner. Moving on. Do shrimp belong in a Big Mac? Let's find out. Feels very strange grinding up shrimp, but here we are. I mean, that right there is shrimp paste. Just like the salmon, I have to say I am shocked that these burgers are staying together and holding their shape as well as they are. The sauce on this one, we're starting with a coconut. Does anybody know how to actually open one of these things? Okay.
So the key is you gotta hold it really firm. That's why I like to position it right here in between my legs. That's not going anywhere.
Okay.
And then you take the knife,
I don't like where this is going.
and you just go as hard as you possibly can, and you try to get it in that little hole. 3, 2, 1.
Well, took 2 tries, but that is perfect. We've extracted some of that beautiful coconut flesh, and I'll just chop it up nice and thin. We'll throw in our coconut, a bit of cabbage, chilies, some lime, seasoning, and yuzu mayo, then toss. For the sauce, we have a sweet chili, the slaw, patty, some mozzarella for a neutral flavor that doesn't overpower the shrimp, bun, sauce, more of that slaw, and a second patty to round it out. And it is time to taste our shrimp burger. We are joined by another very special guest. We have Owen Hahn. This man is a sandwich expert. How does it look to you?
Honestly, the cross section is sick. It looks great.
Oh, sweet.
The sear, it's really nice. I like it, Max.
Honestly, I feel like it's sort of missing something. Maybe a little bit of umami in there.
Some spice would be nice.
Some spice would be good. Is this better than a regular Big Mac?
Honestly, no. Because if I'm just imagining myself going to like the drive-thru and it's beef or shrimp, what psycho is gonna say, give me the shrimp Mac?
100%. Let's move on. Next up, we have a goat Big Mac. Looks like we got all sorts of unique cuts. This one appears to be from the shank, I assume. But either way, the meat looks stunning with a beautiful red color. I can definitely smell a bit of gaminess, but it isn't overpowering. Let's grind some goat. Despite the slightly gamey smell, it does look very similar to ground beef, so that's how I'm treating it until we have a nice crust and it's cooked through. For the cheese on this one, I gotta go with something that pairs well with goat, so we're making some grilled halloumi. And just check out that golden brown color. And for a quick sauce, we'll start with some yogurt, tahini, lemon juice to brighten it up, garlic, and some seasonings. This one feels like a big risk considering I haven't tried ground goat before, but between the sauce, grilled cheese, and this mint salad, I'm confident we're at least giving this our best shot. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I bit my tongue. Damn goat burger.
We all put our burgers directly down onto the plate. I have a feeling we're not big fans of the goat burger.
What? It was amazing.
What?
I thought it was fantastic. The tahini.
Everything besides the meat is great. The meat is gross.
It's a little gamey.
It's extremely gamey.
It's more gamey than lamb, but I like gamey.
I kind of like that odd gamey flavor, and I think the tahini dressing and that little salad really complements it.
If you can appreciate gamey flavors, this one is absolutely phenomenal.
This is definitely not better than a Big Mac for me.
I'm in the same boat.
I agree. Moving on. Believe it or not, this right here is reindeer meat, and we're turning it into a Big Mac. It says here this meat is a product of the USA, though I kind of thought reindeer were only hanging out with Santa in the North Pole. It actually just smells like very beefy and like rich beef. This stuff doesn't smell bad at all. I've actually never cooked reindeer before, so I'm keeping it simple with just salt and pepper. I mean, it looks like a really delicious normal beef patty. Getting crazy for the topping of this one, starting with a bunch of onion. Next up, we have a beautiful pile of crispy bacon. There really is nothing better. Make it rain the bacon. After caramelizing the onions for a while, we'll season it up and hit it with the maple syrup, adding in the bacon, then letting that simmer down into this luscious bacon jam. For a bit of freshness, we'll start with a chimichurri mayo and some arugula, the reindeer patty, some creamy brie cheese, followed by more of that chimi mayo, the second patty, and a very healthy dollop of bacon jam for some sweet, fresh, and delicious looking layers.
It is time for reindeer, and we are joined by Katie. You may have seen her on TikTok eating steaks. Have you ever had reindeer before?
I have not.
Are you okay with eating reindeer?
Yes. This is a way to celebrate Rudolph's life.
All right, let's do it.
Mwah. Should we see who can do the bigger bite, and whoever wins gets $10,000?
She's smart. 3, 2, 1.
Wait. I won! It's honestly delicious. The bacon onion thing made it. It is a little gamey, but not in a bad way. Usually I hate gamey meats.
Do you think it is better or worse than a regular Big Mac?
I've never had a Big Mac. I'd give it a 9.
I personally think it is better than a Big Mac. You need to try a Big Mac. We're gonna hold her to it.
Yes, coming soon, guys, don't worry.
And we have made it to the animal I am by far most excited about. This right here is a zebra ribeye. I mean, it smells super clean, kind of like beef, but as you can see, it is extremely lean. I mean, there is literally zero marbling on this cut of meat. But just like a regular ribeye, you can see how there's the eye muscle right here, as well as the prized cap muscle. Let's grind some zebra. Those are words that have probably never been said in the English language, but either way, it's time to get these zebra patties cooking. Went simple on the seasoning, and they should be good to go, and we'll assemble. We have a Parmesan aioli, along with a black truffle aioli to truly get in the zebra spirit today with the sauces. No clue about the taste, but it does look pretty cool. Given how crazy the meat and sauce situation is on this Big Mac, I kept all the other ingredients the same as you'd find on an authentic McDonald's Big Mac, and the only thing left to do is give it a try. We have made it to our final Big Mac. We got zebra. For this one, we have a very special guest. Welcome, Kian. Have you ever tried zebra before?
Never.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Got some stripe on your mouth.
Kind of weird.
Kind of weird.
Tastes like a Big Mac, but dry and sweet chicken.
It's not overly gamey though. It just has a very distinctive flavor.
It almost has like a mushroom.
Like umami.
Yeah.
Is this better than a regular McDonald's Big Mac?
I would say no.
I would agree with you.
It has this weird off-putting taste.
Really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you to Kian and the rest of the incredible people that were here to taste the Big Macs, and we'll see you next time.
That's why I like to position it right here in between my...
Firmly position it between your legs, Kyle.